Thank you, leaders. My name is Boile Panza. I'm a representative of civil organizations that are gathered here and that are here to proclaim a message to the world. Because now we are not speaking to South Africa, we are not national, we are speaking to the world. There's a burning issue, which is the 30th of June. Everyone is asking, what about the 30th of June? What's happening with the 30th of June? Others are coming with what they think they know about the 30th of June, that people are going to get injured, there is going to be violence. Others are coming out just to say the vigilantes are out to unalive people. So we are here to allude your fear. I think when it started, before it was an issue of a March and March matter. March and March said the 30th of June people are going to die. On the 30th of June, every foreigner must go. I'm not going to tiptoe around those words. They are used loosely and sometimes they are used to spite people, to spite the people who are fighting. Sorry. So I'm not going to tiptoe around words that I need to speak. So what I'm going to do now, you are going to leave this place knowing what will happen on the 30th and the plans that are in place for the 30th of June. So I'd like to say it. I think I have. I never thought one day I'll be amongst such. It's beautiful. It's nice. It's nice. Never in my life, in my 59 years, have I seen myself here. So our people, our leaders that are here, let us work together. If you want the truth, you'll find the truth. But if you are here to take a narrative that you want to take, you can take it, but the truth will come out because the truth is on the table. Thank you. So I'm going to tell you the background of what's happening here. What is happening here, the 30th of June is known because it came through March and March. Then, as I said before, it is expected for vigilante, violence, people must go and hide. You know, everyone now is using this for their benefit. So what is going to happen here? We have 25 to 27 organizations, civil organizations, that have stood up and said, this is not a March and March thing. This is not a Jacinta thing. This is a South African matter that has been eating South Africans up for years, where there is no one who's listening to South Africans, but we have a government that is saying, if you dare stand up, I'm calling the soldiers on you. That is what's happening. I was in another meeting yesterday that was run by South African Human Rights Commission. In that meeting, we the people, because the purpose of the meeting was that they wanted people's input on the law, whatever they were doing. We went there as people who came in to say, listen, you may think there's a problem, vigilantism and everything, but you have never went down to the roots. You are only picking you are being very selective about how you put the matter out. So in that, we found that we were kicked out of the meeting. All the people were speaking and saying, you shouldn't be so bold into saying people are vigilantes when you didn't go to the ground and found out what causes that. We were kicked out, all of us. So we are here to say, if the Human Rights Commission has that boldness to tell the whole world, because whoever they are representing there, they are going to send a report somewhere. And if it comes from those authorities, they are saying we are vigilantes. Has anyone amongst you went down? Because normally we see you, my people, my media houses, we always see you where there's Jacinta because there's something that people want to take out of them. I've never seen you in locations. I've never seen you where our children are dying. You only come when there's a funeral for your benefit. That's the only time we see you because you have content to make, you have a report to make. But have you given yourself time to just walk about Soweto, the rural areas, and come with your own report? It's hard down there. The very thing that prioritized that we say, yeah, guys, so I'm sorry, I think I got a bit emotional. My apologies. I got a bit emotional. But today, yeah, are you Nyankole? Okay, thank you. So let me get to the letter now. There are 27 organizations that are standing up. Now it's not a Jacinta thing. The civil organizations are here. And also we have politicians. Politicians are citizens at the end of the day. If they do it, they will be doing it in their space as citizens. But now we are talking civil organizations. So thank you guys. Thank you for being here. We are going to open up for questions, but we are going to have a statement first. But before that, I'll have one or two of the civil organizations just going to say just 5 minutes after this brief and tell you who they are, who they represent. And then after that, it's going to get hot. I don't know if you have fans with you guys. It's hot in here. Even your camera, somebody didn't bring some makeup for me there. I should have been nice. I know you want me to because so I'll ask Bavuma Bunda, he'll introduce himself just short, then he just add on what I've just said. Because this is not about me, this is a South African thing. This is not a much thing, that is a South African thing. So you'll hear and see that there are South Africans who are, Mr. Mabunda, please do the honors. Okay. You can do it from here. Thank you, Anderson, to it. I don't put this just there's a change in somewhere. They say I should allow first for the reading of the statement. Oh. Then from the reading of the statement, then the introduction when the leaders come in, they'll be doing that after the reading of the statement. So I'll give over to... Thank you. Our reading of the statement will... Your camera should be facing more on that end. Thank you.
Good morning, all. My name is Mosa Gahlongwa, and I'm going to just be going through our statement as we begin. To all those who are present, members of the media, fellow South Africans, members of the public and the international community. Today we stand before you as United Coalition of Civil Society Movements brought together by a common concern for future of our country. The continued onslaught on the indigenous people of the motherland. We stand here having noted the re-establishment of the systems and methods of colonialism. We are mindful of the fact that the problems of our people South African men were used as cheap labor in the farms, and later, with the discovery of the gold, they were made to sell their labor in the mines, where they were constantly abused. In 1834, slavery was abolished, and the demands of the better working conditions and wages started to rise. The challenges of our people continued until the period of 1890 to 1914, when the tensions between capital and labor increased. Black men were then forced to migrate and their land was dispossessed. For many years, capital continued to import laborers from countries such as Mozambique and Malawi. Today, we have a right to vote, but economic freedom has not been realized. It remains in the hands of the minority that continues to exploit our African people, taking advantage of their suffering. Inequality is in its all-time high. This reminds us of the chairman of Mines, Albu, in 1897, who said, "It is necessary for the wages of natives to be reduced because the expenditure of the mines must be reduced, and also to prevent the natives from becoming rich in a short period of time. This agenda continues to thrive even in modern day now in South Africa. We have gathered not as representatives of the single organization or community, but as South Africans from diverse backgrounds who believe that the challenges facing our nation requires a collective and coordinated response. The disdain of our government that cannot be allowed anymore. The issue of illegal immigration is not a concern affecting only one sector of society, one movement, or one individual. It is a matter that impacts communities across South Africa. South Africans are tired of standing in long queues in hospitals. They are tired of competing for spaces in public schools with illegal immigrants. South Africans are tired of competing for jobs with foreign nationals who are appointed in conflict with the Section 8 of the Employment Service Act. South Africans are tired of Nigerians who are selling drugs to youth of this country. South Africans are tired of human trafficking. The exploitation of our people in the textile industry by Chinese. We don't want the tuck shops mafias from Pakistan and Somalians. We want a safe and united South Africa. We meet on the 24th of June 2026 in Midrand, Johannesburg, 6 days before that 30th June 2026 that everyone is talking about, to make a clarion call to the nation. We want to invite all South Africans to rise and file their country. We are calling upon the academics, progressive business people, churches, traditional leaders, political parties, professionals, artists, the unemployed, the prisoners, the homeless, and all foreign nationals who are in the country legally to stand together and fight against the hostile takeover of our country. We call upon South Africans to hold our government accountable. Your vote must never come cheap. We want our government to start respecting their bosses, their voters. We want the government to reconsider their priorities. It is interesting that the acting Minister of Police has dedicated his time to reassure foreign nationals that he will protect them. But not once has he ever assured South Africans that he is going to attend to their concerns. He has blatantly refused to respond to the correspondence, but today he is prepared to spend 600 million against South Africans. The Human Rights Commission has become a Human Rights Commission of foreign nationals with no clue on what South Africans are experiencing. The national interest, and this is why it is important to defend the sovereignty of the Republic. We note with grave concern that yesterday the Human Rights Commission organized a gossip session where South Africans were ostracized and their personal information posted in the public platform without the Human Rights Commission condemning this behavior. All that we want is for the government to fix our borders by installing a fence. We are the legislation to be amended to allow BMA to operate inland. We want the budget of BMA and Home Affairs to be increased. We want immigration officers to be transferred to BMA. We demand a policy shift. Put differently, our government must immediately declare that the township economy must be reserved for South African citizens only. The township economy must be reserved for South African citizens only. Legislation and bylaws must be amended to give effect to this policy position. We demand a massive rollout of the deportation program for the next 6 months. This will include, in particular, the deportation of undocumented Nigerian nationals, Somalians, those from Pakistan, Chinese, and illegal immigrants in general. We have been trying to engage with the government over the past 12 months, and it is clear that our government does not understand what we want. This was confirmed by the address by the President. While we remain disappointed, we are not despondent. We still believe that we can still find solutions for our problems. We also believe that if the government takes time to listen, we will find each other. We commend government leaders who have tried to meet us halfway by accepting that there is a crisis and who are trying to fix the problem with us. The mayor of Nkosila Ngalibalele in KwaZulu-Natal, Councillor Mieza, the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Mr. Tami Nduli, and the Premier of Gauteng, Premier Mr. Panyaza Lisufi, for recognizing the need to echo the voice of the people on this matter. We have noted the silence of the Minister of Home Affairs, who at the time of need has elected to hide behind the energy of his deputy, and we are left to wonder, why does he remain mum? We note the silence of many political parties and academics. We see you. We can't help but remember the words of Martin Luther King. In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. Many questions have been asked about what would happen on the 30th June 2026. The government has issued a statement saying it is going to spend 600 million as a result of the 30th. It has ensured that no police officer takes leave on the 30th, but not once have they tried to engage with us. That's what this government does. It plans for the citizens and against the citizens, but never consults the very same citizens. It is interesting that when the same demonstration takes place in Europe, government and the media refuse to refer to it as xenophobia or act of vigilantism. But when it's South Africa, South African citizens fight against lawlessness and trying to prevent South Africa from becoming a failed state, then we are called names. Section 32 and 34 of the Immigration Act is instructive that all people who are in the country illegally must depart, and that the state must deport all illegal immigrants. Section 38 states that no person shall employ an illegal foreigner. We are not calling for violence, but for government and the business sector to respect the law. It is that simple. No one will be violated, no one will be killed on the 30th of June, and no looting, I repeat, no one will be violated, no one will be killed on the 30th of June, and no looting will take place in our name. What we are going to do is to start a national march to freedom, a rolling mass action to continue until our demands are met by the government. The 30th is not an event, but the beginning of process, not only to liberate South Africans, but the entire Africa from the bondages of colonialism. We will demonstrate across the country peacefully. We will work tirelessly in a quest to hold our government accountable. No one must aid and abet illegal immigrants. This includes our government. We want Section 42 to be observed. We call upon all our members and all our communities not to cause any destruction to property. No shop must be looted. We are law-abiding citizens, and we don't behave like criminals and that are selling drugs to our children. Government has the power to stop the community-led protests by taking a decision to fence the republic, hold the refugee application process until the legislative amendments are concluded, transfer economy back to South Africans, increase the budget for the BMA and Home Affairs. We want public schools to prioritize South African children. We demand a report on what happened to the report that there are alleged drug syndicates in the country led by Stanley Egbo, Michael Ifebuche, Johnson Anneke, Une Ame. We want government to present a proper plan to the nation on how they intend to address the immigration crisis, not just window dressing. We call upon our members to take this to the streets peacefully, engage with the government, and never stop fighting until we win. It is not a responsibility to be carried by one individual, but all of us must play a part. But it starts with you, and no matter how small the contribution is, it matters. And Mother Teresa reminded us of this when she said, "I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create many ripples. Thank you.
Good morning to everybody that's here. Thank you for being here. This is going to be our Q&A session. I am CCCBC from the civil society organization called Foundation. And yes, we are in support of what Martin Martin started. Before we go into the Q&A session, I would like our leader to please read the declaration.
Who's reading the declaration? You must introduce yourself.
Good morning, colleagues. Morning, commanders. My name is Patrick Mohamis, Operation Budula. We are citizens of this country. There will be no property destruction. There will be no infrastructure destruction because we don't have dual citizenship. We cannot inherit ashes. So I'm going to read the pledge. Mine is very simple. With the coalition of allied civil society and civil organizations gathered in Midrand at Protea Hotel in South Africa on the 24th of June 2026, united by a desire to free South Africa from the bondage of apartheid and colonialism of a special tribe, being guided by the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa as the supreme law of the country, with a sole existence and the founding values being the rule of law. We noted with great concern the pain and suffering visited of our people by oppression. United in our diversity, we make the following declaration. We commit ourselves to engage as a united front in the war against lawlessness, irregular migration, the violation of the human rights of South African citizens, the voters, the taxpayers, the youth, and in general the poor and downtrodden citizens. Recognizing our history and being mindful of the present challenges, we vow to dedicate our lives into ridding our country of any lawlessness, including irregular migration. We commit ourselves to a course of self-discovery, the building of United Africa, the Pan-Africanism that works for all African countries. We reject any assertion that Pan-Africanism is defined by the Declaration of South Africa as a welfare state, whose responsibility is to take care of the entire citizens of the globe without playing a pivotal role of making sure that the 54 countries of Africa have a viable economy and the governments work for their people. We confirm and declare that our organizations stand for peace, unity, the enforcement of our laws, and that our call is a peaceful demonstration of our people's anger and disappointment against the state, and that our people must protest in non-violent manner. We reject any form of violence, destruction of property, and looting as a form of crime. We further reject and question our government to desist from creating an impression that there is violence where it does not exist. We declare that our people will continue to protest peacefully and until our demands are met. The progressive forces shall not stop or call off the fight against illegality until we claim back our country. There goes our declaration.
Thank
And
you.
we will sign.
Thank you for that. We will go straight into the Q&A. I'm going to request that members of the media who have questions, you will raise your hand. We'll take all the questions first, maybe we'll start with 5 questions, and then we'll head over to the panel. We'll hand over to Jacinta to respond. I'd like to see a show of hands, please, for... Okay. Can I start with you, sir? Please tell me your name and which media house. Can we have a second mic?
Please let me know.
So we don't.
Pat,
Okay. Can you please hand over the mic so they're not going to be. We'll ask you to give us your name and which media house you represent, ask your question, and then we'll continue.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Ngosi Konamalingam from Radio 702 Eyewitness News. Just to the first point of departure, you'll pardon me, there's so much to get through here, but as a first point of departure, can the organizations represented, the 27 organizations represented here, then safely declare that June 30th is your event? And I'll tell you precisely why I asked this question. Is because often, and we've received word that in some areas there has been an application to local authorities, precisely the Metro Police, for these demonstrations to take place. And what the law then stipulates where that is concerned is that if anything, and we're not saying that this is going to happen, but if anything should go wrong, the organizers of that protest or march or demonstration should be held liable. Hence why I'm then asking, can you then say that this is your event? The second question is, have you made applications to local authorities for this mass demonstration in different towns to then take place so that they're also looking out for you, but anything else along the way? How many sort of people are you expecting to show up? We know that one of the other leaders that we've seen in front of these demonstrations, Ngozi, has said that he's mobilizing about 1 million men across the country. On the point of Mr. Ndabandaba, I just wanted to get clarity as to whether he leads a civil society organization. I'm not saying you should answer on his behalf, but we've seen him and Mr. Nkuna at the forefront of many of these demonstrations. So are you guys working together? This is precisely to Mr. Ngobese Zuma. Are you working together with Ngoskwana and Ungizwe in terms of what we've seen and what is planned for June 30th? As I wrap up, I think you stressed on the point that you are essentially assuring that there will be peace. But I want to return to the initial question to say, if anything, because what we've often seen in demonstrations, your motive could be pure, but there's always individuals that are willing to sabotage in terms of introducing criminal elements. What happens if things go wrong? Who would you accept liability, in essence? Just the last one. There has been many activities, leading up to this. I did say, please pardon me. And I think many people are also wanting to know, where are you receiving your financial support from? Thank you.
We've explained this several times.
Hi everyone, Nabila Sheikh from ENCA. I've also got a few questions, but since he's asked some of them, I'll keep it shorter. So in his address on the 7th of June, President Cyril Ramaphosa said, I quote, "The responsibility for enforcing immigration laws rests with the state and the state alone." So what gives, I know, with March and March having declared this deadline initially of the 30th of June, what gives the organization the right or authority to impose this deadline? And secondly, do you agree that this unofficial deadline that has been imposed is actually illegal?
How?
I think my next question is, how do you ensure that on the 30th, right, that darker skinned South Africans aren't targeted purely based on the tone of their skin? And will you take responsibility, just to reiterate what Mr. Sitwana said, will all of the organizations seated here take responsibility for any violence or intimidation that is actually meted out against any foreign
I
national
think it's
on
enough.
the 30th of June?
Take these.
Thank
Money
you.
are cool. I think. Sihle, do you want to take two? It's too many. There's too many.
Can I take three?
Let's take three. Yeah, three is fine.
three.
Three is fine.
I will take my brother. Yes, I will
Can I
Take
allow-
three. Take three. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Can
Take
I allow? Yeah.
Yes, I will answer.
three. Take three.
Jacinta will be doing the answering next. None of us are.
Okay, take three. Take three. It's
Who
fine.
wants to answer the first question after that?
Okay, let me do that, and then you guys can add
I just want to know
where you feel.
your reflection on whether the South African government has maybe used an opportunity to be on the right side of history in the way that they've responded and treated this matter of national interest. And also maybe directly to the UK party, what made the UK party join this particular gathering, and what is their stance? Because I don't see many political parties joining. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm going to request that members of the media, when you ask a question, sure, Uncle Connor just took over everything. I'm going to ask that we brief, short, straight to the point. But for now, can I give Jacinta a chance to respond to the three media house questions, and then I'll open up the three more.
There's a problem with the mic. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. I'll try and be brief because I can see there's a lot of questions that we can expect today. So the first one is our event, the 30th of June. I think I mentioned this in our previous press briefing. I'm going to reiterate what I said. The 30th of June is a deadline that was announced by Pagelum Tagat. When he announced it, the South Africans stood up in numbers in support. So it's no longer a Pagelum Tagat date, it's a South African date. Because South Africans in numbers responded to that date by saying that they also effectively would love to see the country taking shape. And the 30th of June was a deadline given to the illegal immigrants to self-deport. One of the reasons I know for that was because our government consistently complains about deporting people being very expensive. So it was meant as a way to encourage people who know they're in the country legally to self-deport. I'm going to go back to the question of whether we know that it's illegal to announce a date. I'm finding it so strange that it can be illegal to tell people who are illegally in the country to leave the country because they're in the country legally. What is illegal about that? Because it's just a date and an encouragement for them to go home. If anything, they should be taking it to heart because, I mean, it's giving you an opportunity to prepare yourself. This date wasn't announced yesterday, now that everyone's starting to panic now. I think he announced it in April, if I'm not mistaken, where he announced the date. And South Africans, like I said, are the ones that started echoing the date. Because as much and much, the date was not announced by us or any of these civic movements that you see here today. But if South Africans are the ones saying that on the 30th of June, we want to echo the call that illegal immigrants must have left the country, there's nothing wrong with that. And we're standing here to say exactly that the 30th of June was not announced by any of us, but because we are with the communities. We are the ones that know what the communities are saying to us. We are the ones that have seen the impact of what goes on because of illegal immigration. Therefore, if the 30th of June is putting enough pressure on governments and illegal immigrants themselves to go home, what could possibly be wrong with that? I'm sorry, I don't get the illegal part of it. Maybe we can get a further elaboration on what would be illegal about telling an illegal person to leave the country legally while they still are in the country legally. Have you made applications? There have been a number of organizations amongst us that have made applications in various areas, and those will be announced because we don't want to cause panic now where everyone is trying to do 50 things at different times. So definitely, as we always march and we always make applications, we always know our Section 4 meetings, every single one of these organizations have done that. We know what the process requires. And how many people are we expecting? We don't know. That's the honest truth. We honestly don't know. All we know is that South Africans in their majority have expressed that they are no longer comfortable living with people that they don't know, who are in the country legally, who are taking over their spaces. I mean, there are even places in South Africa where we don't feel comfortable going. Our Sunnyside, the Hillbrows, the Point Roads, all of these places. And this is a call to say that we want all of these things to come to an end. We miss the days where South Africa was, South Africa, where you would walk on the streets and there's not 50,000 people selling and you fall off the streets and nobody in government sees that as a problem or a reason to enforce their laws. But tell them about March and March, suddenly everyone remembers the law. And then, are we working together? Yes, I think that's why we're here today, to say that we are working together. And it's not a working together because of the 30th. I must emphasize this. These organizations, I think majority of them have been in existence even before March and March. But for some odd reason, it's like this is a March and March thing because I don't know why it's a March and March thing. I honestly don't know. But all of these organizations have been at the forefront of calling out government for the issue of illegal immigration. And not yesterday, mind you. For years, we've been asking for the same thing from government over and over and over and over and over again. Maybe now, because there's a whole hype around March and March, now people are starting. I think maybe the difference here is that these organizations have been working behind the scenes. Maybe for the first time when March and March said, get off your phones and be seen on the streets, is the reason why people started taking this issue seriously. Because all along, we've been saying the same thing and government has been ignoring us. And I think for the first time, government can actually see that there's real people behind cell phones, because we have been complaining about this for years. And you're asking, what happens if things go wrong? And I'm listening, I've been listening to the language all this time. Everyone, are you going to take responsibility? Are you going to take responsibility? Can I ask, whose responsibility is it to protect the country? Is it us? It's definitely not our responsibility. You can't place that on us. If the government is going to be spending 600 million, then they must work for it. They must show us that they can be able to protect the country. We can't be crying every day over our borders being porous and them failing to protect us as the citizens. And when we decide we want to stand up against them, suddenly everyone has a voice about how we must take responsibility. Who takes responsibility for all those children who are out on the streets smoking drugs? Who takes responsibility for all those things coming in our borders? Who takes responsibility for all the human trafficking that's happening in this country? If anyone wants to point a finger at someone who must take responsibility, start with those who allowed illegal immigration in the first place. Those are the ones who must take responsibility for anything that happens on the 30th. Don't point the finger on us. We've done our due diligence. We've put our head on the block here. And everyone in the world is looking at us, calling us hateful things, swearing at us, and the government is acting as if this issue of illegal immigration is our problem. It's not our problem that there's illegal immigrants in the country. We didn't invite anyone. We certainly didn't want to feel unsafe in our own country. We certainly never envisioned there'd be a time where in our hospitals we don't have spaces,
No bed.
and children in schools don't have spaces. So if there's anyone that must shoulder any blame for the 30th, it's the government. But on our part, we are saying, for what we can take and what we can do to ensure that no violence ensures, we'll do that. But we can't go over and above. We don't have 100 million rand here. Maybe if you gave us 600 million rand, you'll see the difference. So maybe give us that 600 million and we'll show you how to take care of a country. Where are you getting your money from? Israel. Guys, I don't even know anyone from Israel. The only time I ever heard about Israel was in the Bible. And now I'm hearing that I'm funded by Israel. You know, the amount of time people spend on conspiracy theories really worries me. So you guys telling me that black people cannot stand up for anything unless there's money involved?
Sure.
Are we not smart enough? Are we not entitled enough? Or do our brains not function unless there's money involved? I find this so very offensive. Because if this movement had a lot of white faces here, everyone would be like, oh, let's hear what you have to say. Oh my gosh, why do we have the issue of illegal immigrants? It's such a fundamental right for people to be protected in their country. But because it's black people, you find the most offensive things to say to us. It's disgusting that the media keeps pushing this agenda of us as black people not being able to stand up for ourselves in our communities because we're black. And everything we must do must have money involved. Yes, we know there are people who have bad motives and bad intentions for doing something. But have you ever seen us going to Israel and getting money? Why would you run a story that you don't have proof of? Have you ever asked us for our bank statements and we said no? If you've ever asked us for bank statements and we said no, rightfully write that and say you have issues of who's giving us money. We have bank statements, guys, where people donate. If you want to see them, today I can give them to you. Don't keep making us airheads in our heads. Because now these people, you don't even understand how very detrimental to our lives this thing of aligning us with certain people is. Because you say we are aligned with Israel. What do you think the Palestinians see us as? Exactly. Why do we care if Palestinians and Israelites are in South Africa? Because that's the exact problem that we're talking about. Exactly. What kind of African country has people from other religions fighting religious wars in that country? We are an African country. Why must our African beliefs and values be pushed aside so that we can get ourselves involved in things that have nothing to do with us? Whether you're Muslim or whether you're a Jew, it doesn't matter to us. We just want you to be in the country illegally. Finish. Simple. And asking us where we get our money from if you're not going to contribute a cent to us is not helping us. Give us 600 million as well. Then ask us what we're doing with the money. Because we're not a government entity here. We don't use taxpayers' monies for our existence. Everything that we have to do here requires us to put in our own money. And if South Africans are donating to us, why is it a problem? Because we can't do anything for ourselves. Yeah. No, guys, I really find this question highly offensive. Highly. And I'm saying again, if you want our bank statements, we are more than happy to give them to you. Nabila Sheikh, what gives us a right to impose the 30th? I think I've explained where the 30th came from. And I wish he was here to answer where the motivation for the date came from. But unfortunately, I can't answer where the date comes from. But I've also explained the logic behind us hopping onto the 30th. And the dark skin tone of skin. I think we've had, if I can calculate, if not 30 or so marches already. And you know, with every single instance where people have claimed that there's been attacks on people who are Tonga or whatever, they've been proven to not be true. Because I can tell you that the only people who are talking about this issue of us having abused or hurt people of dark skin are people who have always opposed what we're doing. Yes. So I can tell you, Nabila, in a march, the only thing we're doing is marching. Nobody's looking at skin color saying, oh, you dark, you blue, you orange. In March and March, I can show you one of our leaders is darker than the sun. He's very dark. So if it had to go with that, I think we'd have a serious problem in this country. Because nothing we've ever said is about skin color. When people ask us, why are you only targeting Africans? I'm like, I'm so confused. Because the tuck shops, spaza shops business is taken over by Asians. Pakistanis, Bangladeshis, Chinese, and we are always there at the forefront with the police to go to those same people and say, these businesses, are they registered? Are they in compliance? How did you get them? It's not about skin color, Nabila. And I hope that everyone who's trying to push that agenda understands that we don't care if it's white people that are in the country legally. We don't care if it's Chinese. We don't care if it's Smurfs. We don't care if you're pink. The only thing we care about is, are you in the country legally?
Simple.
Because legally would mean, Nabila, that there's been a background check that's done by Home Affairs. I don't even know if that's even happening. We're hoping, if we're lucky, Home Affairs did a background check before allowing people in the country. But unfortunately, knowing Home Affairs, they don't even do that. So that's what we're asking for, that we want people to come into our country and do the right things and be positive influences in the country and bring about positive change, not economic migrants. We don't want to import poverty from all other African countries. And it's got nothing to do with hating people or not loving them or hating ourselves or our skin color. It's got everything to do with respecting the laws of the country, because migration, I've said this so many times, and it works me up every time I have to repeat it. Migration was there for a reason. It wasn't meant as an escape for your government. Nobody here has a right to escape to another country because their government is not giving them a job. When we go to another country, the country has already evaluated that there is a position available for Jacinta to go to that country. And nobody in this country wants that job. So in Saudi Arabia, for example, they realize they've got a shortage of skilled nurses. They go out and look for skilled nurses. They're not looking for people to sell tomatoes on the streets.
Please.
They are looking for people to be nurses. That's how migration works, and that's all we're asking for. Can we not be made to feel bad for wanting the right thing for our own country? Because now if you are importing 100 nurses from Nigeria, and there's already 300 South Africans who are already not working, how are you going to make migration work for South Africa?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys, this thing gets me emotional, but I apologize.
Where is this love going to come?
The reflection of the government. Do we feel like they missed an opportunity? Shem, our government, Bandla, Shem. I don't even know where to start with our government. I'm going to change and move from the government and come to you guys as the media. Your job is to hold the government responsible and assist us as the citizens in holding. That starts with you guys asking the right questions. But you don't ask the right questions. Even now there, with that immigration crisis that's happening in Durban, where there's thousands of Malawians there. Guys, you're not asking the right question. How did we get there? How are we having thousands of people undocumented there? Stop asking them if they've eaten, guys. Stop asking them if they've had a bath or all of those things. Honestly, you are depriving us of an opportunity to see just how bad the crisis is.
Yeah.
Please ask the government, ask Cyril Ramaphosa,
What did we get?
why have you been ignoring this issue for so long? What is your plan? Not that State of the Nation address where because if I was to ask you guys, of all those things that were suggested on the day, how many have you actually seen happening?
Empty promises.
Because, first of all, the Department of Home Affairs doesn't have money. So by them even having to deport there, we were saying it's an opportunity for municipalities to loot. We know how the government works. So now they're gonna make someone get a tender for a tent, make someone get a tender. Why are you just not getting more and enough buses to let everyone to go?
With the 600 million.
With the 600 million, why do you not increase and speedily make sure that people go home, but also recover that money from the Malawian government? It can't be a free exercise. You are taking their people who are in the country legally. It's taxpayers' money. We can't be paying for Malawians who came into the country legally. I don't even understand. You guys make all the crimes in the world look bad except for illegal immigration. You make illegal immigration look like it's South Africans who are at fault. How is it our fault that so many Malawians are in the country illegally? Those are the questions we want to know. How much is the government spending as those people are outside? Where are the NGOs and NPOs that are always crying for immigrants in the country? Why are they not giving them buses now to go home? Where's the Helen Suzman Foundation? Where's SERI? Lawyers for Human Rights? Where are them gift of the givers? Where are them? Don't give them food, give them transport to go home. That's what they want. They don't want food, they want to go home. And you started the exercise of taking out money. Those are just Malawians, Shem. You still have Nigerians, Ethiopians, Somalians, Zimbabweans, Mozambicans. So save your money. You're still going to need it very much. And the MK party being present. Actually, this is a civic movement in representation. I think my brother from the MK came to show support after seeing the invite. Because honestly, like I said, even with this, I was hoping they would have projected the organizations that are part of us today. It's only civic movements, because Operation Tutula is here as well as a civic movement, because they've got two wings. They've got the wing of the political party, but the civic movement was the one that we are working with. We're not working with the political party. So we just wanted to clear that out, that there was no specific invite that was sent to the MK to be present and speak today. I do believe that my brother saw an invite and came to show support to the movement. I think that's about it. Is there anything guys would like to, just quickly, one, yeah.
Morning, colleagues, once more. I'm tempted to answer my brother there. What assurance do we give the nation that something will go wrong? It's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
Oh, yeah, but they will tell him. Remember, we've got two operations as citizens that we can do. One, it's a march, which is protected under Section 4 of Public Gatherings Act 205. And then Section 4 committee will decide what time are you going to march from here to that side, and then what time are you going to finish. Then if something goes wrong after that, it's not our duty, like our sister is saying. Then the government has got 6 million, and another thing, yes, it's got,
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. We're going back to the Q&A. I think any other civil society organization that might have something to say, they'll afford the opportunity at the end. 3 people in the media will take you, sir. We'll take you, ma'am. And we'll take you, sir. And then I will request that you immediately just your name, which media house you're from, and then we go straight into it so that swift conversation. Mom, can you please help with the mics? Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Howard Omagolewa from UFM. Are you going to be busing in people from KZN into other provinces? If yes, which specific ones? Yes, I'm asking this deliberately because I covered the previous march here in Victoria, and people, certainly scores of them, were bused in from KZN. And secondly,
Continue.
do you think you have been careful enough in your rhetoric? I'm tying this to that question that sometimes this seems like a tribalist kind of a movement. Do you think you've been careful enough in your speeches as leadership? Yeah, since I have seen your video just the other day where you were saying all foreigners must perish. Because I watched the whole thing.
Perish?
Yeah.
No, there's never been
I
such.
could
Show
see
me that
you-
video.
you
Show
used-
me that
you
video.
used the word wrongly.
No, no, no. Show me that video where I said they must. No, no. Show me that video. Show me that video.
Yeah, but
Show
we
me
have
that
to be-
video.
We have to be civil.
No, there's nothing
we
to
wanna
be
be
civil
civil
about
about
if you're
that.
lying about me. Give me the video. How? What are you talking about? Perish? When have I ever said they must perish here? Show me proof.
Please.
Proof.
That's a dangerous
Show me
statement,
proof.
sir.
Just list
How?
all the, because you've called out
Nonsense
political
here.
parties that don't support you. Kindly list for us political parties that
We
you
need
think
to
have been
address this.
supportive
Can I just-
of your
I need to say
campaign.
something?
And yes, the video
Please.
does exist.
Bongi, can-
Show us the video. Show us the video.
That's a lot.
Show us the video where I said they must
I would like
perish.
President to respond because I think we cannot have media houses here
How?
making dangerous statements.
No, let him
That's-
take
I
it
want to
Can
say-
you
out.
please
No, let him take out the video.
I wanna see the
Let me
video.
show. Let's see the video.
Sir, from UFM.
No, this is an urgent.
Can we ask?
No,
very
wait.
important.
Wait for him to
It's
show the
dangerous.
video.
Please
Show us the video.
No, we're not continuing.
Okay.
No, we want to see.
Show us the video.
We want to see
Show us the
where
video.
You are alleging that your sister
Said they must perish.
People must perish.
Show us the
Dangerous
video.
statement. And
How?
not the media to make record of this.
Yes.
that this
Show the
gentleman
video.
from
Don't
UFM
no. Show the
has
video.
said- and
Show
please
the
show us
video.
We are not
video.
continuing.
Show us. the
Show
video.
us.
Let's project the video.
And then we will project it for
we're not
everyone to
continuing.
see. As we continue.
Show the video.
Yes.
No, we're gonna run it how we want to. You're not gonna tell us how to. You can't come here and say we said something we didn't say. How? Show us the video.
And are very cruel. And they
Do it
expect
now,
us
stop
to
talking.
Show us the video. Phela nje.
Right. Can we please proceed to the second journalist?
He's not even South African, this
Can
guy.
you give the second?
No, but give him time to show us the video.
Okay.
Let him show us the video. Wait, he must show us the video.
must show us.
He must show us the video. How? He must show us the video. Come here and say nonsense here. How?
But this is wrong. It's very dangerous. You can't continue to say
Imagine saying I say
Those
people
are
must
all the
perish.
problems
Why
that
would
we
I
have.
say people must perish?
Can you imagine? That's a dangerous
How?
statement.
It can't be.
Can we continue to the second journalist, please? While we wait for the gentleman
We'll wait for the
to
video.
show us the video.
Yes.
This is
He's
what
there
has
by
been
the
happening all
door.
the
He
time.
won't leave. We're gonna ask that the second journalist go on with your question, then the third, then we continue. But in the interim, please make record of this. We want to see the video because we cannot condone such
Blatant
damning,
lies.
blatant
How?
lies to be circulated.
Saying I
as
said
truth.
people must
Can we
perish.
continue, please?
He's back. Let's hope he's got the video.
Where's the video?
Where's the video?
Where's the video, Puti?
No,
Okay.
but he must show us the video, Sisbong. You can't lie like this. This
Considering
thing of
that
media
we're getting
lying
a lot
is
of
nonsense.
backlash from all these
How?
things. So we can't allow this to just happen because all the time we have to answer lies that are said by people on things that we do not. There's no way we should be okay with continuing with this because every time we are supposed to be answering. Yesterday, as it was said, it is actually even recorded that this is what we are doing. We are called names and we can't have media come here, sit with us and continue with us and allow it. We must see this video because Jacinta doesn't have an English problem. Maybe it would be with me. Perish. People must perish. No way.
Can you imagine?
Oh.
Can we continue to the second journalist, please? Ma'am, you can speak.
Thank you so much.
Can you please continue? Ma'am, can you continue?
It's become your MDHPB. I only have two questions. Is this movement, can it assure South Africans that your protest is not being used to advance any political party's agenda ahead of the 2026 local election? And my second question is, if the government does not respond to your demand, what would be the next step? Are you planning on shutdown or is there anything that you are planning if you are not getting any response? Thank you so much.
Can we have the next journalist?
Hi, Salai here from Salam Media. So I just have two quick questions. There's a very jittery Muslim business owners, a big community here in South Africa who are very, very unsure about what's going to be happening on the 30th. We saw, I think it was on Monday, Babu Pagelum Tagati engaged UPSA, South African Ulama Council, it's a Muslim body,
country. Are you open to engage with them? Have you spoken to any of them? And do you have any message for them? And then the second one, what would you consider a success post June the 30th? Thank you.
That's it, yeah.
We're going to allow for Jacinta to respond.
Thank you so much. I think it must be clear again that as we're here, maybe the question should be about the collective,
Yes.
because there's more than just March and March. It's not a March and March presser, it's a collective organizations. But just to answer the issue of busing people that Uputi over there insinuated, there was one bus that was from Durban, KZN, that went to the march in Pretoria and in KZN. That was the only bus that was there. And these were people that the bus had been sponsored by Umandisi Njingana, who was on social media. The donation he made was public. It was 50,000 rand for the bus. I think those who are on our social media platforms would know this. We took the 50,000 rand and we paid for the bus to come to Johannesburg and Pretoria for that march, because the people of March and March in KZN had requested to be part of that march. That is only a number of 62 people. So if your brother here is saying that we bussed people in numbers, I'd like to hear him share where those buses were coming from, because as far as we know, there was only one bus. But I think while he's looking for that video, he'll also look for the buses that he's talking about. And in terms of, I'm not going to answer this thing of rhetoric. The protest used to advance a political agenda. I think as March and March, we've been very clear in the stand that we will talk to political parties. And we do that deliberately because we are not in parliament. And there's a number of policies that we want to be changed in parliament. And that's not going to be changed by us because we're a movement. So when we engage political parties, it's with that in mind, firstly. Second of all, it's also to understand that where political parties stand with the issue of illegal immigration. Because when the local government elections happen, we are not a political party, I repeat. When the local government elections happen, we want each and every one of those political parties who agreed to fight the issue of illegal immigrants to not change. And we will be there holding them to account to say that you said when you are a mayor or when you are a councillor, you will enforce municipal bylaws that allow you to bring back the township economy back to the hands of South Africans. And that's why we engage political parties. It's not because we think that it's going to advance anyone's career. I do not believe that South Africans are not smart enough to see people who are playing them, who are trying to advance a political career. Unfortunately, it's happened before. But right now, there's a new breed of South Africans who are more aware of what's going on, who are more careful about what they're doing. That's why we continue to emphasize the importance of South Africans going to vote and voting for political parties who are going to bring about change in their communities, or even people, because we know local government elections are also individuals. It's not just political parties. So we continue to emphasize that you vote for political parties and individuals who are prioritizing putting South Africans first. What is the next step? The next step for us is to continue until we win. That's what we've said. And we know what winning means to us. Winning means to us our borders are secure, first of all. We clean out the people who are already in the country illegally. Those are the two most important things. Prevent those from coming in who are outside, and those that are already inside, we make sure that we politely and happily take them out of the country. And also on top of that, putting South Africans first. We don't want a situation where we have to beg and grovel for jobs that the law of the country already says you are not allowed to hire a foreign national unless you've proven that a South African is not qualified. But what we've noted is people are making us feel bad for wanting these very laws to be enforced. It's the law that says that. It's not South Africans that woke up in the morning and said, hey, Wits University or whatever university, hire South Africans. You can't be having lecturers that are only foreign nationals because one foreign national came and then started hiring other ones. Yeah. That's not what the law says. So if people are busy glorifying March and March sticking to the law, why are they not sticking to the law? I mean, institutions of higher learning themselves are breaking the law. But nobody's screaming and shouting at the rooftop, calling them vigilantes for breaking the laws. It's only us who are breaking the laws in this country. Business people are hiring foreign nationals without even following due process. Nobody's calling it vigilantism. When people in their homes are gathering nannies who must sleep at 10 o'clock at night because they must clean all day, it's fine. But the minute we call that out, then we are the ones that are vigilantes. I think the vigilantism starts with the people who are breaking the laws and aiding and abetting illegal immigrants in the country. And then in terms of the Muslim business owners, personally, I don't think there's any preference to any business owners. Business owners must all be treated the same, whether Muslim, whether pink, orange, green, purple. For us, it's irrelevant. As long as a business owner is abiding by the laws of the country, they need to follow the laws thoroughly. We met with other companies like Take A Lot, Uber, and we reminded them of their responsibility to the country. Checkers 66, we've also reminded them, even though they didn't show up to the meeting. But we still said to them, you can't be hiring foreign nationals. It's not us as much that are saying it. It's the book of the law, the same law you are saying that you're scared we're going to be breaking. If everyone is sitting in a press conference like this, calling all these companies that we see hiring people and not following due process, I think the country would function a lot better. Because now everyone is reacting to much reacting to criminality that's done by people who have positioned themselves as the voice or those that are better than us just because they've got money. Just because a business person has money doesn't give them a right to break the laws of the country. All of us must abide by the laws of the country. Every single one of us. Whether you are rich, whether you are poor, whether you come from another country, whether you're South African, the laws of the country cannot keep being disrespected and disregarded just because people want to use other excuses. Oh, they are human beings. Oh, they are hungry. So I must also say the same about a criminal in KwaMashu. When they leave their family hungry and they go hijack someone, oh, they are doing it for their family. We can all make an excuse for crime, guys. We can all make an excuse for crime. Aiding and abetting an illegal immigrant is breaking the laws of the country. It's written down in the law. So those same people mustn't come act fresh here with us just because we're standing up against something that's wrong. What we're doing here is standing up against the breaking of the laws in this country. And I don't know why that is called vigilantism. For the life of me, I don't understand. I really don't get it. I wish maybe they could explain to us. So they're the only ones that can break the laws and life must just go on. But when we're trying to correct what they were doing, then we are vigilantes. And they're saying that we're breaking the laws for as long as I can remember. I don't know about, but I think I know about all these other. Every single one of us go to the police when we are going to do operations. We have a right to do that. And then people come and stand in front of the camera. Nobody is allowed to ask someone for their ID. I get that. I totally get that. But what I keep saying is that the government created a problem. It's overwhelmed, it can't fix it. You can't just have a blanket approach and say, nobody has a right to do immigration officers. You've only got 800 of them. Your police, the police, I don't know, I'm sure all of us can share a story of how the police don't even know the immigration laws of the country. They come to a workplace, they ask someone for the documents, they produce a passport, they say, oh, it's okay. We're like, police officer, a passport is not a working document. You need a work permit in order to work in the country. We are the ones that have to teach police that. And the government needs to find a way of working with civil movements like ours and communities to make sure that they fix the problem. Stop treating us like we're mad people who are just crazy. We are the ones that know and live in these communities with this crisis. They're not in Sandton. Illegal immigrants will never be living in numbers in Sandton and all the places where you live with your high walls and your blue lights. So it's that very gap that the government keeps creating with communities that makes the problem even bigger. And then, what else?
What would you consider a success?
Or what would we consider a success? We would be very happy. I just saw the Libyan government. The Libyan government went and banned 4 countries from ever coming into their country. Whether it's right or wrong, I'm not entitled to say. But I'm saying, as a government, they said, this is not working for us. Therefore, we're not trying to please the rest of the world and make ourselves look good by taking in more people than we can afford. We've seen the UAE saying they're banning Nigerians. We've seen several countries actually saying they're banning the Nigerians from coming into their country. Tina, us, shame, we have to sit every Sunday and watch them on Sizoktola, and they say all kinds of things, and then they come back the following week again, being arrested for the same drug possession every week, and the government has never, not once, said anything about it. All we're asking for, and what we would consider success, is if our government would grow a backbone. And by growing a backbone, it would be ignore what the rest of the world is saying about you. Stand firm and speak about the crisis that is the immigration crisis in your country. And the effects of it, you can see. Schools are full, hospitals are full, buildings are being hijacked, they're dilapidated. You're finding people building buildings inside buildings. The tuck shop industry is taken over. Your entire CBD is taken over by people who are not South African. That is a crisis. And no country in the world can sit back and ignore that, especially when its own people are complaining. So we are saying for the first time in our lives, a success for us would be the government of South Africa looking at South Africans and saying, South Africans, we've heard you, we'll do what you have asked us, which is to prioritize you, which is to enforce the laws of the country, which is to change those laws that after 32 years we see have opened up gaps for more problems to come into the country. That's all we're asking for. A president who will stand firm by their own people and not be mindful of businesses and how businesses or their businesses are affected. There's more to life than businesses. We have children, all of us here, that we would like to see still having a future in this country. And currently, we don't see a future in this country. At the end of the day, we are the ones that are going to end up being international orphans in other countries.
Sure.
I think this will be the last round of questions that we're going to accept. I'm going to ask hands, please, just 3 people, 3 media journalists.
Just saying a question was not answered. Maybe let's just address it.
Which one?
Which question was not answered?
The next step.
Look, I think we'll move to the next step. For us as civil movements, like when I was on TV and I said, we'll see, I don't know how that was interpreted as a threat by Fikile Mbalula, who decided that I'm threatening the government. Because saying we'll see means we're still going to sit down and discuss it. But like I said, from the 30th of June onwards is when we intensify. And we're introducing all these civil movements so that you know there's more than March and March.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be dealing with just March and March or Pagilum Tsarat or Ngizwe. You're dealing with all of us.
Thank you. We're going to accept 3 last questions from journalists who have not asked. Can I please see hands? I saw there's one that side. There's one that side. And the second one, I want to identify. There's a gentleman sitting over there. And the third hand, let's see.
You asked 16
We
already.
asked 27 million questions already.
When you do get another chance, you can come in. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the lady that side, the gentleman that side. And
Yeah,
then
you will get to say your
It's
part.
fine.
When
We'll
you're
close
signing,
with you.
you still
One
have to
question.
sign
If it's
on-
more than
So you'll
1
get to say
second,
your
you take the
statement
mic.
on the
Can
issue.
you time me? Yes, we'll time you.
Okay, I'll give you a chance. It's okay.
Okay, guys, thanks. My name is Hilary Rinder from the International News Agency, AFP. You mentioned that from the 30th you will intensify. Do you mind clarifying more on what you do that?
What did I just say? Because we're still going to discuss that.
Afternoon, I'm Baisama Dala from Solar Africa. My question is what's happening on the 30th? Are shops opening? Are shops closing? Are people protesting all over the country? What are the days' events?
And the last question, please.
The last one. Oh, yeah.
We said 1 second.
Several times because Sarah has been there.
Because it's been the last question. We're timing you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. By the way, I hadn't left. I just wanted to get your response to Acting Police Minister Feroz Kachala's statement, and in fact, the top brass of the SFU is that no weapons, including traditional weapons, are allowed on the day. Thank you.
I think those are those the last.
Yes, that's the last questions we have done.
I think answer that question first.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, members of the media. My name is Mtatungu Gaitobi from the Progressive Forces. There was a question that was sent by ENC Nabir regarding the statement of the President when he speaks about the citizen's arrest. That is section 42, of which it goes as with the Criminal Act of 51, 1977. As citizens, we do have a right, and private citizens, we do have a right to make those arrests. Now, when you're going to the section itself, it speaks about a Schedule 1 offense. There was a court case that happened in 2022 of a Malawian who obviously, not in part with Immigrations Act 13 2002, it was found into the court that it was a Schedule 1 offense. So as citizens of the country, we do have that right. So that's where we are. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we get the answers from
What was the question?
The journalist that asked over there, sir, can you please just repeat your question for us quickly?
You mentioned that you, on the 30th, you will intensify. Do you mind elaborating more on?
They're asking if you could elaborate further as to what is meant about intensifying after the 30th should no change prevail.
Well, I said as civic movements, that's something that we'll announce going forward, because we are hopeful that by the 30th the government would have responded, because I don't think we're asking for much. We're asking for secure borders. We're asking for more money to be spent on the Department of Home Affairs, because obviously it seems to be an expenditure problem. We're asking for the BMA to work inland. Let me explain to you why. So currently, the BMA operates only at the border and just a few meters outside some borders. That's as far as they can go. But they don't come inland, right? Which means if I come into South Africa and I say, I'm coming to visit my cousin, Usizwe, somewhere in KZN, and I overstay my visit, I need that's a BMA information. Home Affairs doesn't have that information. So what's the point? So I'm giving Home BMA information, but Home Affairs has the duty to deport me when I've overstayed. How does Home Affairs know I've overstayed my stay? That's exactly why we have a problem like this. On top of that, there at the border, when you ask them, do they know currently where their refugees are? They don't know where their refugees are. They've got no idea where their refugees are. They say that they've got 167,000, I believe, around there. My figures might not be correct, but they're below 200,000 refugees that we have in the country, which is ridiculous, by the way, because the number of them is definitely not 100 and something thousand. But when you ask how many applications they're sitting at 1.2 million applications currently. Roughly 800,000 so people who are in the country unaccounted for. And I'm just counting refugees. There's still asylum seekers as well, which brings their numbers to 200 and something thousand, right? We can't have a situation where there's so many people walking around the country, unknown, undetected. Nobody knows who they are, where they come from, what they're doing in the country, who are they staying with. This is a huge security risk for the country. And that's why we're rising as South Africans in numbers. We're saying we feel unsafe in our own country. On top of that, it's a battle for scarce resources. South Africa does not have unlimited resources. We cannot service everyone. And therefore, we understand that people have problems in their countries. We understand poverty, which is why when we say, go and fix your countries, it's not supposed to be an offense. It's meant to be as an encouragement to say, we as South Africans, as organizations, we've grouped ourselves together to fight with our government. Go and do the same. If you need us as South Africans to support you in whatever means possible, we'll do that while you're in your country. Now, people just come back and say, we helped you during apartheid. During apartheid, South Africans were not economic migrants. They're not running away from poverty. They were running away from real danger. And not the whole of South Africa ran away. Majority of South Africans stayed to fight. So we're saying, we are willing to extend that, but guys, it's been 32 years. Instead of getting lesser and lesser economic migrants, or even migrants for that matter, we're getting more and more of them. Because countries are becoming more and more problematic. The political environment is becoming more and more unstable. The economies in other African countries and beyond is becoming more and more unstable. There's not a single country that can be allowed to keep giving and giving and giving of itself so others can survive. We can't keep taking oxygen from South Africans so that other people can breathe. It's not fair. And for people to term this as hatred is very painful for me. Because I always ask myself, guys, why are you not listening to us speak? Because none of what we're saying is about hatred. It's got nothing to do with fearing migrants or not loving them. It's about us as South Africans having the little that we have left to survive and trying to protect it. Can the world tell the story for what it really is? Instead of calling us xenophobic, whereas this in Ireland, nobody was calling that xenophobia. They were literally going into houses, getting people, beating them up, burning them up. Not one article was calling that xenophobia. It was anti-immigration protests. Do we not deserve the same grace? What makes it when white people are protesting that it's got a nice and fancy name? When we are protesting, it's always violence. You always think of violence. All we said on the 30th was, well, I don't even know what Pagelumtazi said. But what I'm saying now is that we're saying we want to march. We didn't say anything about destroying anything. But there's one other problem that I wish everyone can note. The government of South Africa, the media of the world, pays so much attention to South Africans that you ignore the foreign nationals. Do they not provoke South Africans? Do they not tell us that they're not going anywhere even if they're illegal in the country? This is their country that was given to Mandela, to them by Mandela. We've got things here, we'll go when we decide to go. Those things are provocative, and it's not fair that the media is not listening to us when we say, we are saying we are not going to have any violence. But foreign nationals themselves are provoking South Africans. Is it possible that you guys paint the full picture? Please, we're not saying paint us as angels. We don't care what you call us. But paint the full picture. Go and tell those stories of South Africans who have been run out of the tuck shop business because Pakistanis and Somalians have told them they can't open tuck shops in their own country. Tell those stories of South African children who can't find spaces in schools. Tell those stories of women who are South African giving birth on the floor because they don't have space. Because Zimbabwe has terrible health care, and therefore everyone who wants to give birth comes to South Africa.
Yeah.
We want you guys to tell the full story. Don't tell a one-sided story. You are the ones that are going to cause a fight when there's no fight. Because someone who's in the country illegally shouldn't even be protected. They must know, I'm in the country illegally, therefore I must go. Why is it so painful to tell someone who's in the country illegally they must go? Why are NPOs getting worked up and NGOs getting worked up, Daily Maverick every day, and ground up have articles every day about xenophobia in the country? Ask them to tell us about those children who are dying in spaza shops, not a single article. So it's us who must die.
Yeah.
It's fine when it's our children that are dying, it's okay. No media finds that problematic. You guys don't think it's a problem when we're watching Sizokuthola every Sunday and Nigerians are caught selling drugs every Sunday? That's not a story, it's not newsworthy. The only newsworthy thing is when a foreigner gets scratched. Oh, they scratched the foreigner.
Yeah.
What are the day's events? The day's events is that the same marches we've been having and conducting, we just want them to be countrywide. We never said anything about a shutdown. We didn't say anything about a shutdown. We didn't say anyone mustn't go to work. We didn't say anyone is going to be harmed. We didn't say anyone is going to be violated. All we are asking for is for illegal immigrants to leave the country, guys.
Simple.
Illegal immigrants. And please stop calling them undocumented migrants. Because in the law, it says they're illegal. That's what the law says. If you are telling us we must respect the law, you must respect the law too. Say what the law says. It doesn't say undocumented. Because undocumented people would be South Africans who have no documents. That's an undocumented person.
Yes.
A person who's in the country illegal is an illegal immigrant. And they came into the country knowing very well that they're illegal. Stop giving them fancy terms. It's really frustrating. Yo, this country is frustrating. Yo, you guys, the minute someone comes into the country illegally, they become a victim. Then you're using terms like refugees, asylum seekers, all of that. So you genuinely believe that a person who comes into a country illegally has done absolutely nothing wrong. The people who are wrong are us. You can blame the system all you want. Yes, the system allowed them. Yes, government is wrong. We are holding our government accountable. That's what we're doing here. But you can't pretend that when a person is breaking the law, they don't know they're breaking the law. And who gets to suffer? It's South Africans. Just the other day, I was hoping someone's going to follow up on the story, because if it was a migrant, it would be across the world. There was Leo Schreiber went to that place and said they found a Mozambican who raped a little girl and who was trying to go back to Mozambique. Oh, shame, that didn't make news, eh? It's not newsworthy. No, that little girl is just a South African. So anything can happen to her. But if it was a migrant, shame. No, yes, there's a pedophile who was found. There's plenty of people who are found on Interpol. There's plenty of people who are found on Interpol in this country. But it's never a story, Shem. It's not worth news. No. But talk about March and March. Oh, we are the vigilantes. We are the Afrophobic. We hate people. We are xenophobic. So you tell me, when someone comes into your country illegally and they start setting themselves up, living in hijacked buildings, doing all of these things, giving children, is that love? They love us. They're here because they love us. Are migrants here in South Africa because they love South Africans? No. Guys, please, can you stop playing around with this issue? It's very serious for South Africans. Please, can we report responsibly? Did he get the video he's talking about? No.
Of course not.
I want to.
I think I answered the question.
I think Jacinta answered everything. The man with the video, we get to see the video. I think it's gone ganje. It's just propaganda that he wanted to come and spew here from UFM.
In our presence. In
our presence, and we won't allow that. I'm just going to move forward and speak on, as Jacinta said, civil society organizations are here. We are standing in solitude. And I'll speak for myself. Kwanele Foundation, we are saying, in fact, we applaud our SIU for the investigations that they've started. And it has come to book. Just last week, we discovered that a Mozambican or a Zimbabwean pastor witnessed Mazanga, has 3 different He got a tender from City Power for 500 million. He's in South Africa, he's living La Vida Loca. And when Sihle Kwanele Foundation says, all non-South African pastors who are owning or have churches in South Africa must subject themselves to investigation, I'm not xenophobic. Because if you come into South Africa and all of a sudden you have an NPO, how did you get it? Explain to us. How did you get it? Because it means you are not taxed. So there's no non-South African pastor who can say, I pay my taxes. No, an NPO and a civil society organization is not taxed. How did you get your documentation? Number 2, are you saying to me, you left Nigeria, you left Ghana, you left wherever, you are in South Africa, you are failing to give accurate prophecies for your countries, to your presidents, to say, President, Boko Haram is coming. President, they are going to do cannibalism here. President, they're going to steal women and children. But all these non-South African pastors are so fixated on prophecies for South Africa.
That doesn't make us xenophobic. We are just saying, if indeed really God called you, I don't believe God is a cruel God, that He will make you leave your country, come to South Africa, you use church as a front, you are peddling drugs, human trafficking, money laundering, you are coming here with your wives, then you are divorcing each other and pretending to be brother and sister, you marry our sisters just for paper, few years later you divorce the sister, you go back and marry the one that you said is your brother or your sister, just to reignite your marriage from wherever you come from, and then our children are subjected to abuse, human trafficking that's happening, and you are using the title of pastor as a front. We have South African pastors. We have men and women of God in South Africa who can preach, teach, prophesy, and do everything. We have the fivefold ministry. Why are they quiet? Why are they silent? We are not xenophobic, but the abuse that happens behind the churches, and the reason why most of them get away with it is because why? Church. You think, no, it's a church, it's glorious, hallelujah, amen. Abuse will never happen in there. So all non-South African pastors who are in the country, please subject yourself to investigation. If you have nothing to hide, the SIU is doing something good. They are starting from in the beginning. If you say I've been here for 26 years, great. SIU will go back to 26 years ago with you to start unfolding, to say, right, you came with a visitor permit, holiday visa. What happened? How come 26 years? And they will fetch and find all those people you married and everything. And my brother, my father, my sister, my mama, my papa, my daddy. If you did nothing wrong, you will not be afraid. I say this because this declaration that is before us as civil society organizations, I'm going to sign it and say, because it says we confirm and declare that our organizations stand for peace, unity, and the enforcement of our laws, and that our call is a peaceful demonstration for our people's anger and disappointment against the state, that our people must protest in a non-violent manner. We reject any form of violence, destruction of property, and looting as a form of crime. So I'm going to sign it as Sihle Sibisi from Kwanele Foundation, and then we're going to move on to other civil societies to sign it. Oh, you're holding for me. Oh, gosh. See the power in servanthood. So as I sign this declaration, I, Sihle Sibisi, as the founder of Kwanele Foundation, and who is saying we are tired of pastors, mamas, daddies, papas, using church as a front to peddle drugs, human trafficking, whatever that they're doing. And we're saying, Papa, Mama, Daddy, if indeed you are here legally, 26, 40 years, subject yourself to investigation so that if you are here legally, you will not be let to go. It is signed by myself, Sihle Sibisi, as I pass on to the next civil society organization. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Some of them, I don't think they're at the front. If your movement is not here at the front, please come forward so we can sign this declaration. Also, our business is bongi, and we're gonna allow them to just say whatever they're declaring. Before you do that, just 1 second. There's one issue that I was hoping you guys would ask, which is the issue of what the acting minister of police said, Mr. Kachalia, Mr. Bean. Sorry, I heard that he said that we are not allowed to carry sticks. So I just wanted to say that we're still going to check if that legally is correct. Because if the Public Gathering Act says we're not allowed to carry sticks, then it would apply even to weddings and functions. So if we can carry sticks in weddings and functions, it wouldn't make sense to not be able to carry it for a march. So for us, we just need to verify that, because we can't have government coming on TV and threatening us as if we don't have laws. If they are talking about the law, which law allows the acting minister to threaten us? We've never said anything about violence. They are the ones that have been talking about violence, and now they're coming to threaten the citizens because they failed to enforce their own laws. So we don't appreciate being threatened. We would have hoped that they would have sat down with us and had an engagement with us and really listened to what we're saying, instead of making us the villains in this movie. But they are the villains because they are the ones that open the borders to all kinds of infiltration. They can't even arrest the Nigerians. We gave a list of Nigerians here that have been named by the same department of SAPS But those Nigerians are still out on the streets. So they must threaten Nigeria. Guys, the police have energy to threaten people. Threaten those drug dealers. Threaten the people on Madlanga Commission.
I, Musa Gashongwa, I am signing this, and what I want to say, we should not be sitting here answering why the integrity of our country should be restored. And also, what I would like to say, make it very clear, South Africans, you will never be able to change the system you are not ready to provoke unless you poke holes on the system of the people who are very clear they do not care about you. That's why we're going to have to stand and have this change. And in front of everyone else, we have joined March and March, and equally so we are carrying the weight of it because a woman stood for us to stand up and not to be bashing and lying about the things that we are doing here. All we are supposed to be doing, we are taking our country back and we are bringing it its integrity. And that's why we are committing all the way, effective now until we find everything that we are expecting to get. Thank you. My name is Musa Gashongwa, and the organization is United South Africans, and I'm the founder and the president. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Hey, that's one you met here. Hey, you know, it's not nice to be short.
So what is
When you are short, people just jump over your head. Thank you very much.
What must I do?
There are organizations that are not here. Remember, we said there are 27 organizations. So, but they are with us. Those that are physically here, they are here. But I'm going to call on all the names of the organizations here, and those that are here physically, and those that have sent their reps, they will also, I'll give the mic over to them so that they can also make a declaration. So every member that is here of the civil organizations, they are going to, there's a very beautiful video that was supposed to be shown from the, but I don't know what happened. It's a very beautiful video. You could have seen it. It's very beautiful. So, but anyway, it's not a train smash. I'm going to call on all the organizations that are here. So all the organizations that are here, I'll call their names and acknowledge them, each one of them. I have Progressive Forces. Can they raise their hand in presentment? I've got Mabahambe. Abahambe. Present name. We have, sorry, I'm sorry. Raisa. Hey, the other names, there's Raisa. Yeah, I know. There's Ramsa. Ramsa. Yes, they're here. Thank you. I have African Liberation Movement. Koti. Progressive Forces. I did count it. I need to finish it. United South Africans.
Halala.
Thank you. We have March and March.
Present.
Thank you, ma'am. Present, ma'am.
Present.
We have SACR. SACR, the leader, which is President Tobeni, is in Moscow. So she did send that she's also with us. Thank you. We have Umpagati Waruna, they also reported, but we have UTDSA, they are also, that's why I said if you could see the logos of all those organizations here. They consented, as proposed, they are all in, and they gave us their consent that we are together. Thank you. So we have Black Business Unity, they are represented, but I'm representing both. I'm Count Me In and Black Business Unity, so I'm representing. But I will sign after everybody has done their part. We have SAUCC, SACY. Which one is SACY? Okay, we have Inkabayam. Okay, but I did say some are not here, but we do have their logos and they are part of us. We have Operation Dudula Civil Movement, because we have two. We have them in the political space and in the civil space. So Operation Dudula on the table is representing civil space, as they say. Thank you. So I have Khatalin Na. Do we have anyone from Khatalin Na in the? No, they are not here, but we do have their consent. We have Progressive Civic Congress. Progressive Civic Congress. Okay, thank you. We have Lefasi Laruna. Okay, we don't have. We have Batrakuba Kaping. They are not here. We have Umang. I know they are not here. I have I'm a Patriot. We have Ukukanya Gwelanga. We have Bammu. We have Lako. So what I'd like to say now, before I will even give over to our patriots, the other organizations, remember this initiative, we have representatives in all the 9 provinces. So if you ask about the state of readiness for the 30th and all the questions that have been asked about safety, we have 9 representations. So it will roll out. Keep watching the news, our social platforms. That's where you get all the information regarding the readiness, the state of readiness, and everything to do with the 30th. That's how it's going to be. So I'll start from my left to my right, and all the organizations can give me that declaration so that I may have this in line. Thank you. And also, can you introduce that?
Let us you can hear me. Okay. I salute all the leaders. And then I'm Roger from African Liberation Movement. And it's on. It's off.
I'm sorry. Put South African first, yes. Present man. Thank you.
I'm here.
What are you looking for?
The African Liberation Movement. The African Liberation Movement is a forum for civic organization. Started with the grass, just in Belco. And we are here for a long time. And then we changed this name to be African Liberation Movement to align ourselves, to say, if you are illegal in the country, go back. We want to liberate Africa. We want to help them, and we work together. But they just have to go peacefully, and then we work together. That's why we are African Liberation Movement. And then we endorse this march, led by March and March, until we win.
Yeah, so.
And then our members were in the ground long time before even they are there, but today we are here present physically. And there's a lot of things we can say. As we say, we are in the ground. And I heard one of the journalists saying something which is totally wrong. I think media houses, I think they must stop to call us or other people by name. Before 1990, the same government, they used to call them terrorists.
Yes.
And then you go to Iran, they are fighting. They are being called by names. And we are not afraid yet to be called by those names, as long as we know what we stand for. We have a situation which was never been reported. We have a situation, we use all the system of the government to raise our issue on the ground. There's a church, I heard about this issue of a church. There's a church in Capital Park. The church was sold by Transvara Kerk.
What are you looking for?
The South African was staying there. And then the church was bought by ZCZ Zimbabwe. And then we asked ourselves, if you call yourself ZCZ Zimbabwe in South Africa, whereas you know there's a ZCZ, there's something fishy. They are run by NPO. We involve the owner, the director, who is run by one by the one. And now I'm saying we endorse whatever was raised. And
the people who are going there was going to court every day to look for just a protection order. It took from last year, they only get the protection order last year after we got here. And so I'm here to sign this endorsement. We have a lot we can say, but as the African Liberation Movement, we support, and then we are part of it until we.
I'm going to be very strict now. I used to be Mamfundisi, so I'm going to make sure I stand before you and you keep to the time and you do what you're supposed to be doing very quick and fast. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Santa Nizimo. I am from the Labor and Civic Organization. I'm given the responsibility of being the Secretary General. Today, I am going to attach my signature on the red declaration in support of all these organizations that we share the same aspirations with. We have a concern of foreign nationals being employed in their numbers in our companies. And as a result, South Africans are marginalized and they cannot be employed. We wear it behind every organization that speaks and stands up for South Africans. And we want to ensure that we will be with you, all our brothers and sisters here, until the very end. Thank you.
Afternoon. I am Mandisa Kulu. I'm representing COTI. It stands for Community Organization for Transformation and Implementation. Our pledge or covenant is a civil union for sovereign accountability and the rule of law. So we pledge that we will not be threatened or bullied, especially by our government. That 600 million must come and serve us South Africans. It must collaborate and take out Home Affairs people to come and march with us on the 30th. The police officers who are busy opening cases for illegal immigrants must come with their attire to unite and march with us on the 30th of March, so that they are able to identify documents which are fraudulent and they are able to deport those that are illegally here. We are not the criminals, and we are making it clear that we want the criminals and the perpetrators out. Thank you. We as COTI, we are taking the declaration and making a signature, putting it in ink, black ink. Thank you.
Greetings to the House, the media, and the leaders that are here. I think it will be an injustice if we don't address the President as well as we are here. And I would like the leadership to just give me a few minutes to address a very crucial, important message that must reach his ears. As concerns South Africans, under Put South Africa First, a civic organization, noted President Ramaphosa disappointment. The President failed to provide realistic solutions or a clear timeline for implementation. He minimized the need for practical, immediate action. We believe the President is gaslighting the nation. We caution against labeling concerned citizens as vigilante. In the absence of government action, citizens will self-organize to find a way to address their issues without state coercion. Points of entry, borders and harbors need immediate attention and enforcement. We oppose the establishment of refugee camps and asylum seeker camps at our borders. Such camps will create uncomfortable border management and further compromises the national security. We demand the protection of South African fundamental human rights, safety and justice. Mr. President, civilians fighting for their country and its citizens cannot be threatened in silence, nor should armed forces be unleashed against them. Mr. President, do not forget these citizens are also members of society and are directly affected by illegal migration and that is out of control. It is your duty, Mr. President, to stabilize the country and protect our sovereignty. We demand immediate action, not diplomatic speeches. Thank you.
Good day, the media houses and all the compatriots who are here. And again, Jacinta, thank you very much for this initiative. Well, first of all, I would like to highlight two things. South Africa is still a colony of the British Crown. The president must stop taking instructions from the Britain, from King Charles, because we cannot continue to be a country that is led by other countries. We need our sovereignty. That's why it's important that we need to call on a national referendum so that we can be able to correct the injustices of the past and things that are going to continue to go on in our lives. We have children. Those children need to have a future that is bright. Therefore, we need to respect that, and then we need to adhere to that, that the next generation must never find the country that is in terrible state. We need to fix it. All of us that are here, we pledge and agree to one thing. We are patriotism in this country, and we need to see this country flourish and then benefit the nation and the children and the country be safe. I thank you. Or we declare that we support and then everything that all this team that is here is adhering to.
Thank you very much. Greetings to the media houses and greetings to the leaders that are here. My name is Nicolan Mabunda. I'm the Deputy President of our Hambe National Civic Movement. I would like to address two issues and clear the narrative that has been created outside there. South Africa is a democratic state. The President of the Republic of South Africa, including the cabinet, is serving on the behest of the votes of South African citizens. Therefore, the President as a head of state accounts to the citizens of South Africa. And if the citizens of South Africa are unpleasant or unhappy about the manner in which the government is running the government on our behalf, it's a right of citizens to rise up, especially when citizens have given numerous memorandums to say the president, we have an issue, we have a problem in this country. And one thing that the media house is failing to do, they are failing to ask the president a relevant question. When the president takes office, the constitution of the country is put in front of him. The Chief Justice of the Constitutional Court makes a president to take an oath to say, I, President Cyril Ramaphosa, will uphold the constitution of the country, protect the constitution of the country, and also enforce the constitution of the country. So now why don't you go back to the president and ask him, you have taken an oath of office, but we have a situation whereby your government is failing to enforce and implement the laws of the country. Is the president not violating the very same laws that we are arguing now about? How is it that South Africans are being blamed to stand up to raise issues which are legally and constitutionally? And secondly, we seem to sensationalize the problems that South Africans are facing. We are suppressed in our own country. You know, when democracy fails, that's when dictatorship and autocratic rule comes in. The government was able to go and mobilize 600 million to suppress South African voices, which are unhappy about the illegal things that are happening in the country. Anything that is illegal is criminal. But we want to normalize criminality. And we are saying it cannot be that we sit back and not protect the sovereignty of the state of the Republic of South Africa. Some presidents in Africa have pronounced and said the problem of immigration cannot be blamed on them. Those people are not called names. Donald Trump has implemented immigration crackdown with impunity. Nobody has ever named him. But when poor South Africans are standing up to say, we have an issue, we have a problem that needs to be addressed, we are named xenophobic. So therefore, as our movement, we don't serve any political influence. We not serve any political party. We are an independent civic organization. And therefore, all the legitimate issues that are pronounced in this declaration, we fully support them. And we support this declaration of peaceful marches that will be rolling over the country in the coming few days. And I'm saying that this event is not about march and march. It's about South African citizens and South African civil society. I thank you.
South Africans at large. My name is Mtete Mugaitobi from the Progressive Forces of South Africa. And the declaration that has brought us here is to put South Africa first, not putting Zimbabwe first, not putting Malawi first, not putting Ethiopia first, not putting Zambia itself first, but South Africa as a whole. We are South Africans. Upon the dawn of democracy, as South Africans, we have never enjoyed the liberation from our forefathers. What we are saying to you right now is that still again, we are still in fight. Now, it's more or less of a black and black violence, but we are not advocating for violence. That's how most of the time media perceives these type of utterances. So, as a country, we will reiterate, we have never enjoyed the dawn of democracy. High unemployment, 60% of the youth is high unemployed. Just the stats recently now, 345,000 people have been left off. You know, the situations, especially us as civic movements, when we're doing operations, to say there are certain things that just needs enforcement of the law. They don't need a sitting in parliament where you'd find people drinking whiskeys after that. No, we don't need that. We just need action and implementation. That's where we are. So, yet again, as we are coming back to this declaration, ladies and gentlemen, it's a declaration of, we need to look into the judiciary system. Our judiciary system is not for our side. I'll make an example right now. There was a former president of a certain country called Zambia, Edgar Lungu. The president should have been buried in Zambia. The court ruling in the Gauteng High Court, in the High Court, declared that the president should be repatriated to Zambia. But unfortunately, yesterday, the Supreme Court of Appeal said no. The president should be buried here in South Africa. So that is where we are in regards when I'm saying we need to really look into our judiciary systems. Why is it that a former sitting president will be buried into a country, of which a country that has existing kings, existing presidents, won't it proceed on the future that the generation will come and want to claim the land because their forefather was here?
Yes.
So we need to move away from this nonsense. We need to move away from these emotions that we have been given by our own government. We are tired of this government. This declaration today, we as the Progressive Forces of South Africa are in support. We are championing this movement. It is not a march and march movement. It's a South African movement. We thank you for that.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm going to be very short. I'm starting from my left because the time, guys, you are going to pay
How? Noma sebeyidumbu bafuna ukuba la.
Good afternoon, everyone. Members of the press, fellow South Africans. Mario Kumalo from Port South Africa first. Just to bring everybody to speed, 2017 we had a case against Home Affairs for the very same reasons that brought us here today. But knowing our government, everything falls back. So we're very thankful for all organizations, March and March, and many other South Africans that are taking a stand and reply to the declaration. Thank you.
Colleagues, once more, my name is Patrick Mokhalusi from Operation Dudula. We signed this declaration with solutions because it seems the government doesn't have any solution, any plan whatsoever. So one, we're saying the 600 million must be earmarked and used for to establish special courts to deal with corrupt public servants, to eradicate the institutional corruption within the Department of Home Affairs, SAPS, Department of Labor, and Judiciary. And secondly, we're saying the 600 million must be used for compliance to deal with the employers who are not complying with South African laws and any landlord who is contravening Section 42 of Immigration Act. Three, we're saying communities and citizens are allowed to work with South African police to enforce the laws of this country. They can jointly identify a problem and jointly come up with a solution together with the service, which is South African Police Service. I'm now talking Section 18(1) E and F of South African Police Act. Lastly, we say if police fail to work with Mpakati, the citizens have got the right to enforce Section 42 of Criminal Procedure Act. No organization or any NGO, Kopanang Africa, Calbrini, Helen can prevent people from committing crime in South Africa. So otherwise, all these private security companies must close the shop because they're operating under this Section 42 of Criminal Procedure Act. Commander's morning.
Declare that we're signing.
Yes, I said I'm signing with solutions.
Oh, Pat.
The last one.
Okay.
Yeah, the last one. Okay, the last one.
Amanda!
Where to?
Amanda!
Where to?
My name is Mtunzi Lutuli from an organization called PCC, the Progressive Civics Congress. We fully identify with what is happening here today, and we will sign the declaration. We just want to make one statement, and that is the crisis that we see today is a symptom of a bigger problem.
Yes.
A government that has collapsed, a government that is dysfunctional.
Yes.
And the long-term solution for South Africans, and particularly black South Africans, I want to address black South Africans, it is to kick this government out. Ramaphosa and his administration must go. The government does not care about us black people. This ANC government doesn't. And I think over the 32 years they've been in power, we need to realize that. Ramaphosa doesn't care 2 foot about us. We need to realize that. And in any case, this criminality is going on because he himself is a criminal. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think the police generals are going to enforce the law and chase criminals when they know that their own boss is a criminal? It's not going to happen. And so we say to black South Africans, it's about time that we kick this government out, and 2029 is too far. We need to do it sooner. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I think we're about to close now, but just in closing, we just would like to ask that we've noted that the South African Police Service is out there meeting foreign nationals, telling them about their rights. We've seen it happening in many different parts of the country. And they were telling the businesses about their rights, in the end, we've seen many SAPS members coming out to tell foreign nationals about their rights. We are asking the Minister of Police, can you extend the same grace to South Africans? Can your SAPS members come out and tell us about their rights? Because we saw in Mayfair, South Africans were kicked out by Somalians. And we didn't get any grace from the government to come and tell us that no Somalian is allowed to kick us out in our country. In fact, no police responded to that. And I had a number of South Africans from Mayfair complaining that they are being kicked out in their own country by Somalians. Can we have the same grace from our government to respond with the same urgency as they do when foreign nationals are calling them out? We know we don't have money sitting under our beds like them that we can give you to the SAPS members, but you are not doing this job because you are supposed to be paid by us. We're already paying you through our taxes. And then also, there's a lot of people who are talking about this issue of illegal immigration, but can we ask the media to reach out to people in the diaspora to explain the problems that they're also facing when it comes to people getting documents and they're pretending to be South African in other countries, and how this is ruining the reputation of this country. This issue is much bigger than just being here. It's gone into the international world, where we are demanding even to know those Irish people who are deported back to South Africa, are they South African? Nigerian woman claiming to be South African being deported back to Nigeria when she could have just taken a plane straight to Nigeria. Yeah. Now we must also forecast another cost of her being transported from South Africa to Nigeria. This country keeps spending more and more money on foreigners, and really, we'd like to know how much is the government spending on addressing this issue of foreign nationals, from our prisons to our schools to the nutrition they're spending on giving them, to the SASA grants that they're getting, to the hospital, to everything. We want to know how much the government is spending on foreign nationals in this country. And lastly, we are calling on the South African Police Service that on the 30th of June, since you will have unlimited resources, all the police are not working, please use that as a day to go house to house and arrest illegal immigrants. Because the march is not going to go on the whole day. You're going to be paid for the whole day. So when the march is finished, use it as a day to go house to house and remove illegal immigrants from our communities, because we don't feel safe. And this is a call that all South Africans are making, that 600 million, we must see it going to work on the 30th. Go and remove illegal immigrants from their homes. Go and verify the documents from the bill. Don't meet them and tell them what their rights are. Go and tell them what laws they've broken and arrest them. That's a job of SAPS.
Simple.
If they wanted to know their rights, they were not going to be using Aboseri and them, because they know their rights. They've got lawyers for human rights, and what's that other one you just said, Kopanang, whatever. Those people spend money. Right now, the Department of Home Affairs has more litigation from those organizations, foreigners, than they do from South Africans. Is that not the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life? Foreigners are the ones taking the Department of Home Affairs more than South Africans. And this thing of blaming the system of Home Affairs for all the problems, the system of Home Affairs should not be overcrowded with foreigners anyways. The system should be for servicing South Africans. All those applications for foreigners, put them aside. Focus on the South Africans who don't have IDs, whose identities are stolen like Chidima. That's what you must focus on. Don't tell us that refugees and asylum seekers are waiting for their documents to be processed. South Africans are waiting for their IDs. They don't have jobs. They need passports. Some of them want to travel for jobs overseas. That's what we want to hear. We don't want to hear a Home Affairs telling us they're busy processing refugee documents. That's secondary to what we want as South Africans. We can't have 4 million South Africans undocumented. Then you want to tell us you're processing refugees. We are demanding for the Department of Home Affairs to process South African documents first. Thank you.
Yeah. Wow. Natula. I'll ask the management to switch off the light, and we'll see. So thank you, guys. We have gone. We have done everything.
One last thing. Sorry. No, I just want to clarify something, please. Because we as civil movements are saying, we don't expect that by the 30th all foreign nationals will be gone, because some of these political parties are making a joke that on the 1st of July foreign nationals will still be here, illegal immigrants will still be here. We know that. We are very much aware of that. That's why we said we'll intensify after the 30th of June. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. There is also, before I close, I would also like to give thanks
Can they
to
send
the
the
team
details?
that was behind everything that is happening here. There is a team that didn't sleep for us to be able to come here. So I would like to thank that team. Bayazazi, one of them, media team, he's been quiet there. But now my part. With such a bad reflection of our documents, our vote, how are we going to vote? Who is voting? That is where I would like to put my question. Are we going to vote right with everyone supposed to be voting? That is where I would like to come in. But anyway, maybe we will go about finishing that. Because we have been in the team. To the journalists. So for anyone who will try again to do that, please come with evidence, or otherwise legal action will be taken against you. That is how we are going to operate now and forever. Thank you. So I would like also that I'll ask them. Thank you very much. We have really gotten to